man on a jet ski screaming with joy. 14 seconds of video shot on a Tuesday afternoon in August. It has 41 views. 2 of those views belong to a woman in an office who has just opened his file, the one where he cannot climb his own stairs. Look, I keep this file for one reason. Nobody informed on him. Nobody followed him. He did every single part of the work himself, uploaded it, and waited for the likes. 5 posts built this case. We're going to open them one at a time. 5 down to 1. The claim is filed in the spring. Chronic back injury, severe mobility limits, cannot stand for long, cannot lift, cannot manage stairs without help. It is assessed. It is approved. From that month, the payments start arriving, and there is nothing unusual about any of it. That is the part worth thinking about. About $1,100 a month, every month for 4 years. Call it £52,000. That is a decent used car every year, arriving quietly, on time, for doing nothing at all. And in 4 years of payments, not one person in the system looked at him twice. Say this for him: he was consistent. 4 years is a long time to keep a story straight. He kept the walking stick by the door for visitors. He took the slow route past the neighbors. He built a whole small life around a limp he did not have. And then he went online, where none of that discipline applied. Watch closely, because this is the shape of every file in this drawer. The story is careful at home and reckless in public. Post 5 is the gym. Post 5. A video of a deadlift. 140 kilos, filmed from the floor, his face straining into the camera. The caption is 2 words: back day. A man who reported he cannot lift a kettle is lifting nearly twice his own body weight, and he wants the internet to know. Be honest with me. If that video came up on your feed, you would have scrolled past it. Some man you do not know lifting weights in a gym you will never visit. You would have missed it too. Everyone did. For 11 months. Post 4. A holiday. Sun, a hotel balcony, and him carrying 2 suitcases up a flight of stone steps, taking them 2 at a time because the lift was broken and he was showing off for whoever held the phone. Post 3 is the jet ski. 14 seconds, 41 views, and 1 detail in the corner of the frame that will end all of this. There is a registration sticker on the hull, half in shadow. Remember this detail. Nobody was meant to read it, including him. Post 2 is a car. Not an expensive one. That is what makes it useful. A tidy hatchback, freshly cleaned, and him crouching beside the wheel to buff the paint. Down on one knee. Up again. Twice in one clip because he wanted the shot to look right. Post 1 is the smallest and the worst. A photograph of a hand holding a beer, and behind it, out of focus, a wall calendar. He posted it to say the week was over. He also, without noticing, put himself on a dated day in a room he had told the assessors he could not reach. 5 posts, none of them illegal, none of them hidden. Every one of them public, for years, sitting there in plain sight, waiting for someone to notice. Karma does not need a spy. It waits for you to publish. Tell me in the comments which of the 5 you would have flagged first. I read the file, and I read those too. So how does a folder get opened? Almost never dramatically. A tip comes in. A neighbor, an ex, a colleague who is tired of hearing about the holidays. The report is 1 paragraph. It costs nothing to make, and it is why this drawer is full. The woman who opens it does not chase him. She does not sit in a car outside his house. She types his name into a search bar, and the internet, which has been carefully archiving his best moments for 4 years, hands her everything in about 9 minutes. Listen to what that means. 4 years of payments. 4 years of a story told carefully to every official who asked. And the whole thing comes apart in the time it takes to boil a kettle and drink the tea. Now the sticker. Investigators do not care that he looked happy on the water. They care about dates. That registration number puts a specific machine on a specific stretch of water, and the rental record behind it puts him there on a day he had reported he was housebound. That is what turns a video into evidence, not the boasting. The bookkeeping underneath it, a rental slip, a card payment, a timestamp. He filmed the fun. The paperwork filmed him. And none of it required a warrant, a tail, or an hour of surveillance. Every document was already sitting in a system he had signed himself into. The hire desk, the card terminal, the harbor log. He built the file. She only asked for it. It takes months. That is the part nobody films. Statements, records, a folder that grows quietly on a desk while he keeps posting, because, as far as he knows, it is a normal autumn and nothing has changed. Watch this next part. In November, he posts a video from the gym. Same lift, slightly more weight. And in the comments, a name he does not recognize leaves 4 words. Nice one. Keep going. It is not a friend. It is a screenshot being taken. The interview happens in a small room with a table and 2 chairs. He brings the walking stick. He has brought it everywhere for 4 years, and for the first time in his life, it works against him, because the file already knows what he can carry and how fast and up how many steps. They do not shout at him. Nobody in this story ever shouts. They put the videos on the table in order, 5 down to 1, and they ask him to explain each one. He watches himself scream with joy on a jet ski, in silence, in a room with no windows. £52,000 to be repaid in full. On what he actually earns, that is, the next 11 years of his life, signed away in a room the size of a bathroom. The money was never his. It was a loan he took out against his own future without reading the terms. The repayment comes off the top every month, before rent, before food. For 11 years, he earns money that arrives already spent. That is the quiet part of the punishment, not the courtroom, the money leaving every month. There is a sentence too, and a criminal record that will sit on every job application from now on. But the part he did not expect is smaller and lands harder. The account is gone. 4 years of holidays, gym sets, and sunlight deleted by his own hand, evidence he can never take back, and a life he can never show off again. And here is what the drawer around this file looks like. Cases like his are found the same way over and over, not by surveillance, but by a search bar and a public profile. The clever criminal of the films does not exist in this cabinet. The vain one does, in bulk. One more thing before the drawer closes. In the same building, on the same day, a woman with a real back injury waited 11 weeks for a decision, because files like his are why the queue moves slowly. She never posted anything. Nobody filmed her waiting. I have read a lot of these folders, and I will tell you the thing I no longer believe. It is not greed that opens them. Greed is quiet, and greed is careful. He proved that for 4 years at his own front door. It is the need to be seen doing well. That is what opens these folders. Remember the sticker in the corner of the jet ski frame? He never saw it. He was looking at his own face in the shot, checking whether he looked good. 14 seconds. 41 views, 11 years of repayments, and 1 sticker he was too pleased with himself to notice. This file stays open, friends, because the drawer is not short of company. If you want the one where a man kept a spreadsheet of everything he stole from his own employer and then backed it up to the company's server, it is already on the shelf. Records outlive the people who make them. That is the whole business.